Hi friends, myself Sainath Lambade, and today we are going to discuss about the major endocrine glands. And in this major endocrine glands, we are going to discuss about the hypothalamus as we have discussed in the last lectures. As you know that hypothalamus actually present in the diencephalon at the floor of the diencephalon. As hypothalamus also forms a neuroendocrine structure, means it helps in the connection of neural system or nervous system and endocrine system. So it helps in the formation of neuroendocrine structure, hypothalamus. Actually, this hypothalamus is ectodermal in origin. It is ectodermal in origin. It is located at the floor of diencephalon. It is present at the floor of diencephalon. For many years, the pituitary gland or hypophysis. What is the another name for the pituitary gland? That is a hypophysis, was called the master endocrine gland. Pituitary gland was known as a master endocrine gland in the earlier because it secretes several hormones that control the endocrine glands. Whatever the hormone that are secreted by the pituitary gland that controls all the endocrine glands. So it was known as a master gland. We know that the pituitary gland itself has master. As on the later studies, it was known that pituitary gland itself has some master that is called as a hypothalamus. Means the pituitary gland is doing the work under the influence of hypothalamus. So there is a master of master gland, that is a hypothalamus, the small region of the brain below the thalamus is the major link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Thalamus, as you know, the diencephalon has a floor that is called as a hypothalamus, that has a walls like a thalamus, and that has a roof as like a epithalamus. So this thalamus is a major link between the nervous system and the endocrine system. Cells in the hypothalamus synthesize at least 9 hormones. Cells of the hypothalamus secretes about 9 hormones. How many hormones are secreted? 9 hormones. Different hormones, 9 different hormones, and the pituitary gland secretes 7 hormones. It secretes about 7 hormones. Together, these hormones plays an important role in the regulation of the cell, the aspects of growth, then development, metabolism, and homeostasis. As you know that this together, the hormones of hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, as you know that pituitary gland do the secretion of, actually do the work of homeostasis, but together hypothalamus and all these glands do all this growth, development, and metabolism and homeostasis. All hormones of hypothalamus are peptide hormones. All the hormones of the hypothalamus are the peptide hormones, as we have studied in the derivatives or the derivatives of the hormones in the last lecture. They are secreted by the neurosecretory cells. They are secreted by the neurosecretory cells, so they are also called as a neurohormones. They are also called as a neurohormones. Why they are called as a neurohormones? Because these hormones are secreted by the neurons or the neurosecretory cells. So they are called as a neurohormones. The hormones secreted by the hypothalamus are ADH and oxytocin. The hormone secreted by the hypothalamus is ADH and oxytocin. That ADH work in the requirement of water, and oxytocin is a birth hormone, as you know that. Pituitary gland or the hypophysis gland. Pituitary is having the another name, if anybody asks you, that is a hypophysis gland. Pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamus by the stalk like structure called as a infundibulum. As you know that this is a floor of the hypothalamus, and like this, like a stalk like a structure, that is called as a infundibulum. This is a, and this is a part of hypothalamus, and this joined to this hypothalamus pituitary gland, that part is called as a infundibulum or the hypophyseal stalk or the hypophyseal stalk. So first of all, we'll see the origin of pituitary gland is developed from two germ layers, that is ectoderm and endoderm, as it is developed from the nervous tissue and epithelial tissue. As you know that epithelial tissues are mainly present on our skin, and that are originated from the ectoderm, and these nervous tissues are developed from the endoderm. So the origin of the pituitary gland is from the two germ layer, that is ecto and endoderm. Structure: the pituitary gland is the smallest gland. As you know that pituitary is the smallest gland and is a पी शेप्ड, मटरच्या दाण्या एवढी त्याची साईज आहे पिट्युटरी ग्लँडची. इट्स डायमीटर इज अबाउट 1 to 1.5 centimeter in the diameter, and in females size enlarged during the pregnancy. As you know that this pituitary gland get enlarged in the females during the pregnancy period because it secretes the hormone that is called as a progesterone. So the size of this pituitary get enlarged during the pregnancy. Color of this gland, that is a reddish gray colored gland. That color of the pituitary gland is a reddish gray colored gland. It is located just below the hypothalamus, and it is attached by the stalk called as the infundibulum or the hypophyseal stalk. Pituitary gland remains lodged in a bony depression. As you know that pituitary gland is lodged in a bony depression, like this, a bony depression, and in this bony depression there is having the presence of pituitary gland. This bony depression is called as a sella turcica or Turkish saddle. It gives a look like a sandal, that sandal like structure. Hill sandal that have the depression like this. Depression is called a sella turcica or Turkish saddle of the sphenoid bone. It is present in the sphenoid bone, and in the sphenoid bone is having the depression, and that depression is called as a sella turcica. The term pituitary was given by the Vesalius. The scientist name is the Vesalius. The term pituitary was given by the Vesalius, anatomically and functionally separated in the two portions. Actually, in anatomically or functionally, the pituitary gland has been divided into two lobes, that is anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. As one point for extra knowledge for you, the removal of this pituitary gland due to some conditions, that is called as a hypophysectomy. Removal of pituitary gland, that is called as a hypophysectomy. Anterior pituitary, it is also called as a adenohypophysis. The anterior part of the pituitary, the another name for the anterior part, that is the adenohypophysis. Adeno means gland and hypophysis means pituitary, and accounts for about 75% of the total weight of the gland. Pituitary has covered about 75% of the total weight of the gland. Anterior part has taken. It consists of three parts. Actually, this anterior part have three regions, that is a pars tuberalis, pars distalis, and pars intermedia. Our major parts are these two parts. This is a non-functional part which is mainly seen in the human beings, this pars intermediate, but I have included for your knowledge. This pars tubularis, it is a tubular region present below the hypothalamus. It is present below the hypothalamus, and it is like a collar around the infundibulum. As I have shown you, see, this is hypothalamus and this is a tubular structure, and it shows like a collar structure that is called as a pars tubularis. Then pars distalis. This pars distalis is the largest anterior region. This is the largest anterior region of the pituitary, and that is called as a pars distalis. And this is a pars intermedia. This is the region, and this is a posterior pituitary. This have been taken about 75% weight or 75% space of the pituitary gland, that anterior pituitary. Then pars distalis, it is the largest anterior region and made up of loose cords of the epithelioid secretory cells. And this part, pars distalis, helps in the joining of these hypothalamus with the help of hypophyseal portal veins. Then pars intermedia, it is a narrow cleft. It is a very narrow cleft between the pars distalis and pars nervosa of the neurohypophysis. It is between the pars nervosa region and pars distalis of the anterior pituitary. It has been sandwiched between both of these and very short narrow cleft, and it is reduced in non-functional in the humans. It is very reduced and non-functional in the humans, this pars intermedia. And followed by this, now we are going to see the adenohypophysis. We are going to see the adenohypophysis is an outgrowth from the roof of the buccal cavity. Actually, these two lobes, this anterior lobe and posterior lobe. Anterior lobe is derived from the roof of the buccal cavity or the pharyngeal epithelial cells that has been taken upgrowth. That this outgrowth is called as a Rathke's pouch. It grows upward towards the brain. This connection of Rathke's pouch with pituitary gland is lost in the embryonic development. During the embryonic development, it has taken upside. That is not actually the brain part. It has taken from the pharynx region. That pharynx epithelial cells has been formed, and that has been taken upward. That is called as a Rathke's pouch. The connection of Rathke's pouch with the pituitary gland is lost in the embryo. Posterior pituitary, that is also having the another name, that is a neurohypophysis. That is also having the another name, neurohypophysis, and it is posterior lobe of the gland and attached to the hypothalamus by the infundibular stalk. Neurohypophysis is the smaller and constituent about 25% of the pituitary. It has taken about 25% part of the pituitary. It is divided into three parts: median eminence, infundibulum, and pars nervosa. This median eminence, from this median eminence, there is an entrance of these hypophyseal portal veins. Then these supranuclear, these axons of that particular neurons from this median of eminence. It is the solan median part of the hypothalamus where the infundibulum gets attached to the median of eminence. Infundibulum, it is a hypophyseal stalk and help in the attachment of pituitary gland to the hypothalamus. It contains mainly the axonic fibers of neurosecretory cells in the hypothalamus. Pars nervosa, it is the lowermost larger region of the neurohypophysis, and it contains the axon in between the pituocytes. It contains the axons in between the pituocyte cells, and axonic fibers end in the knobs. Axonic fiber, they end in the knobs like this, and they do the secretion of the hormone. That are the two hormones are secreted from the hypothalamus, and that are stored into the posterior region of the pituitary, that are the ADH and oxytocin. Axonic fibers end in the knobs and called as the herring bodies, and they release the hormones. The third region of the pituitary gland is called as a pars intermedia. Atrophies means it degenerates. during the human fetal development. During the fetal development or embryonic development, this pars intermedia atrophies means degenerate and ceases means it is cutted down to exist as a separate lobe in the adults. After this we are going to see that this is the sella turcica, and this is a sphenoid bone cavity, and here the also showing the optic chiasma. This is a optic chiasma. This is part of hypothalamus pituitary gland present in this depression, that is the sella turcica. And another diagram of the pituitary gland, you are seeing that these are the supranucleus that cells and that neuronal cells that do the secretion of ADH, and these are the paraventricular nucleus cells, they do the secretion of oxytocin. And this supraoptic nucleus cells, they do the secretion of ADH. This is a part of hypothalamus, and these are the neurosecretory cells, and these are the portal veins. These are the only portal veins that start from the capillary and ends in the capillaries. These are the portal veins that start with the capillaries and end with the capillaries. This joining of this portal vein is also called as a hypothalamic hypophyseal portal vein. Hypothalamic hypophyseal portal vein, and this is also called as the infundibulum. That is part is called infundibulum, and this is the adenohypophysis or anterior pituitary, and this region is the posterior region, or that is also called as a nervosa region. That is pituocyte cells, then hearing bodies are there, and neurohypophysis. Posterior region is also called as a neurohypophysis. Hormones of the pituitary gland, that is actually adenohypophysis. Adeno means glands, that is developed from the glandular epithelium. That hormones of the pituitary, they are also known as a tropin hormone or trophic hormone or stimulating hormones. There are having the three types of cells. They are divided into three types by giving the stains. They have been acidophils, basophils, or chromophobes. Chromophobes does not show any kind of a development or anything in humans, so they do not secrete any hormone. Then acidophils. In acidophils, there are the two types of cells, that are the somatotropes that secrete the hormone somatotropin and give the, that is also known as a human growth hormone, HG. Then another one, lactotropes, that do the secretion of hormone, that is a prolactin, and again that is basophils, gonadotropes, do the secretion of gonadotropin that gives a FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone. And followed by these thyrotropes that do the secretion of thyrotropin, that is a TSH hormone, thyroid stimulating hormones. Followed by this another one, that is a corticotropes that do the secretion of corticotropin hormone, that do the secretion of ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone. And another one is the, this all are the six hormones, then 1 2 3 4 5, and this one is the sixth hormone, and seventh hormone is the pars intermediate. Pars intermediate secrete the MSH hormone, that is a melanocyte stimulating hormone, that is a do the secretion of melanin. Thank you.